Hello, my name is Tamara Montz, and this is the video for formulating a technique chart. This is my dog Reese. She's going to be our subject today. And basically the best place to start when you're going to be making a technique chart for radiology in your practice is you want to choose a patient that has a lateral abdominal measurement of 15 centimeters, which Reese is mid-size enough that she should be appropriate for that. And basically, the best rule of thumb when you're doing radiology measurements is that you want to get your patient into position on the table before using your calipers to take the measurement. And we're also going to be setting our machine for, the ideal settings are 80 kVp and 7.5 MAS. This machine will get to 80, but it goes from either 8 to 6.4. So in this instance, you can pick, either one of those because, 7.5 is kind of in the mid-range. So we're going to start at 6.4, and obviously we're going to be making any kind of adjustments that we need to our kVp and our MAS based on the results of the x-rays that we're going to take. So once we get Reese into position, you take 2 exposures at the setting, and based on how they look, that's when you make your adjustments based on your kVp and your MAS. So we're going to go ahead and get her into position first. And this is positioning for a right lateral. You can do left lateral, but in this instance we're going to do right. Let's see if she will. I know, you're nervous. Alright, so now that she's in position, we've got our calipers. And for this, you want to get a measurement that's roughly at the level of the liver. So we've got our calipers open. And as you can see here, she's at roughly 15, maybe a little bit less. But she's a pretty good size. So after this, we'll go ahead and take our x-ray and then we'll check back in. Okay, so once you have your 2 exposures at your 80 kVp and as close to 7.5 MAS as you can, you're going to make any adjustments based on the contrast and the density of those 2 exposures. Essentially, as far as for the kVp, you're going to use the 15% rule to make your adjustments there. You're going to decrease the kVp by 15% if your image is too dark. And you're going to increase your kVp by 15% if your image is too light. Once you have your ideal settings and your exposures look appropriate as far as being able to see all the anatomy that you need to see in your abdominal view, then you can proceed with making your technique chart. Again, because Reese and the ideal patient is roughly about 15 centimeters at the lateral abdominal view, you're going to subtract 2 kVp from whatever kVp it was that gave you your best exposure settings. You're going to subtract 2 kVp for each centimeter decrease from 15 centimeters, and you're going to add 2 kVp for each centimeter increase from 15 centimeters until you get back up to 80 kVp. And then from 80 to 100 kVp, you're going to add 3 kVp for each centimeter increase. And then once you get to 100 kVp, you're going to add 4 for each centimeter increase from 100 to 125. And that's going to be your max. And essentially that will be the process that you'll go through for each anatomy view that your practice is most commonly performing for radiology. And that's essentially the process for that.